Is you ready, my brother? Step up to this mic and let's get it.
Make some noise for Domes, y'all. Make some noise.
Hey everybody, my name's not Doms. It's Domes. What is it? Domes Gage is dope, but like...
That boy is good. I'm happy.
What's up, guys? Domes Gage here, and we're back. Back for another episode of Off the Dome with Domes Gage. Episode 12, I believe. We're getting there. We're we're back for another one. Every week. This one is going to be another sort of later one, but still going to get it out on Monday because that's what I do. But it's now like 3:30 Monday afternoon, and I'm just sitting down to record the episode. So, yeah, might be a little later of a release, but we'll still get it out on Monday. The reason it being so late, last night I went to a concert. I went to go see the Palmer Squares, two rappers from Chicago. Been fans of theirs for a while. And if you remember in one of my previous episodes, I was actually supposed to open for the Palmer Squares. They were originally booked to perform 2 days ago on the 19th. And it was originally booked at a different venue. And turns out that venue double booked. So they already had a show booked and then still booked the Palmer Square and then had to cancel on the Palmer Squares. So I was supposed to open that show that got canceled. And luckily, the homie at Ninja Karaoke, where I'm doing the wax show in a couple days, picked up the show and they rebooked the Palmer Squares there. Unfortunately, I was not able to open because I have the wax show coming up in 2 days now, but 3 days from the show last night. So yeah, didn't open, but I just went and enjoyed just being a spectator, enjoyed just watching and having a good time at the show. It was good to get out of the house for a while. Yeah, it was a really dope show. Had fun. Shout out to all the homies that came with me. We were all just, cracking jokes and having a good time. And shout out to the Palmer Squares for putting on a really dope show. And just being really cool people. Like, they were kind of just walking around the crowd, and I got a chance to talk to them, and yeah, I don't know, just have a little conversation and shit. And most artists don't do that when they perform shows. They're not just kind of walking around the crowd and talking to people. They're more held up in the back until they're set. So yeah, that was really cool of them, and had a cool little conversation with them, and yeah. So I was out pretty late. The show didn't get over, or the show didn't end until pretty late. So I slept in. That's why this episode is being recorded later, because I slept in, guys. I slept until like fucking almost noon, because I didn't go to sleep until like fucking 3 a.m. So I probably should have recorded the episode yesterday, then I could have posted. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, fucking and didn't. So so here we are, Monday, 3:30, recording this episode. And that's all that matters, is that I'm recording the episode and I'm going to get it out on Monday. So yeah, went to the show last night, had a good time. Was drinking my water. Drinking my water, not smoking any weed. Here we are, the 21st. The 21st. It's officially 3 weeks into sober October. No weed. Yeah, I'm still sober. And, a lot of my homies were there. They were drinking, and one of my homies even was smoking weed with the Palmer Squares. And, of course, I wanted to be a part of that. But I was just like, I've made it this far. I might as well fucking hold off and yeah, I only got 10 more days until I can smoke weed again, I suppose. And it's not even like I was really like craving to smoke weed even last night, I was kind of I guess it's just like a social thing when I'm at concerts. I'm like, oh yeah, let me have a drink and let me smoke with the homies or whatever the case is. But I've pretty much committed to this month of sobriety, so it's like I'm kind of not been like, oh, I need to smoke weed. Although sitting there with a cup of water, while everybody else is drinking it's different. And I was telling my homie, I'm like, shit, I have this show, I'm opening for Wax in a couple days. And this might be the first show that I've done sober in maybe ever. Like, sometimes I don't really drink too much before I do shows. I like to not be slurring my words and shit. But smoking weed, I'm a daily weed smoker, so I'm always like high when I'm performing, and so this might be the first show that I've ever done sober, or if not, maybe one when I was really like, I was on probation for something that when I was like 15 or 16, I was on probation. So maybe one of my very first concerts, I wasn't high because I couldn't smoke weed. I was getting like drug tested and shit. Which I guess that's a whole other story. But this might be the first show I've done as shit, I guess. I was going to say as an adult, but I'm like, I don't know how much of an adult I am. I think technically I'm supposed to be an adult, but just a grown-ass kid. But, so yeah, this might be the first show that I've done sober, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'm fucking into it. Maybe I'm like, hell yeah, I got all the energy and all the fucking, mental capacity to remember my lyrics, and so we'll see how it goes. And so I guess speaking of that, this Wednesday, October 23rd, I'm back. Oh, goddamn you, camera. Already we're doing this? We're already doing this. We're already fucking doing this, huh? Fucking perfect. Love it. Love it so much, camera. You're the best piece of fucking goddamn equipment that I have. And I'm clearly being sarcastic because you don't know how to do your goddamn job. I'm gonna like lose it one day. I'm just gonna like fucking throw the camera at the wall. I'm just gonna especially if I'm sober, dude, and I'm not. I'll smoke some weed and be like, all right, camera, like, take your time, dude. We'll get there. Not when I'm sober. I'm like, camera, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna have no camera. We good, dude? Fuck. All right. Sorry, guys. Camera issues. And for everybody that's just listening to the podcast is like, what the fuck is he babbling about? So, yeah, October 23rd, this Wednesday, catch me opening for Wax, the Las Vegas stop of the Push On tour, along with UBI from Cess Crew and Lance Skywalker of TDE, downtown Las Vegas, Ninja Karaoke. Shout out to Legends Never Die once again for booking me. Posted a little Instagram story. I went to the venue. That's where the show was last night, and I went there, and they had the poster outside on the window with my name on it, and that's always nice to see. So maybe I'll try and throw that up here somewhere for you guys to see it. But yeah, it's the flyer I've been posting, but seeing it in real life looks cool. So yeah, October 23rd, this Wednesday, 2 days from now, I'll be back on stage. Really excited for this show. Like I said in the previous episode, this is probably going to be the last show that I do for a while, unless something else that really grabs my attention, really gets me excited comes my way, because I got shit I need to take care of. You know, I need to get this music done. I need to focus on my health issues and all that shit that I'm been fucking dealing with for all these episodes that I keep complaining about. And if I'm gonna do a show, it has to be something I'm really excited about. And if nothing comes my way, then I'm not really worried about it for now. We'll get back. We'll get back to doing shows when I'm excited for them, and when they really matter. You know, that's always been my thing, is like, you know, I can play all these opening acts, but I feel like, which is like a spoiled thing to say, but I feel like a concert is for your fans to come that are fans of you and that know your fucking lyrics and know the words to your songs, and are coming there to see me. Like, you know, last night we went to see the Palmer Squares, and people were there and knew the fucking lyrics and are fans of the guys, and that's why they're showing up. And of course there was a bunch of local openers that did awesome, but you know, you're there to see the headliner, you're there to see the people you're a fan of, and so that'll all come in time. It's not like I'm never going to do a show again until I have a fan base that knows me. Like, I will do opening acts, but it just has to be something that excites me, people that I actually am a fan of, or, you know, I've done a lot of shows where I wasn't even really familiar with the people I was opening for, and I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. It's like, it's awesome to open for their fan base, but maybe a little bit of a disservice to them because I'm not familiar with them. So it's like, I don't know. Is what it is. Anyway, so yes, this Wednesday, if you're in Las Vegas, this will be the last chance you get to see me perform for a while. At least this year, for sure. I don't think I'll be doing another show this year unless something comes my way that I'm excited about. But this show I am excited about. So it's going to be a good one. I'm going to be putting my set together here later, and you know, just getting all the songs that I want to do for the night. And yeah. Like I said before, I'm a big fan of Wax. I opened for him. I actually opened for him and the Palmer Squares 3 years ago, 2016, here at a venue called LVCS that we used to do a lot of our shows at. Was sort of home base to a lot of artists here. Did plenty of opening shows there. And I actually haven't posted it yet, but by the time you guys see this episode, I'm sure I'll have already posted this little clip on Instagram. Last time I opened for Wax, I was still doing like the vlog stuff. I was still doing the life of me, And so I was filming, getting all this footage for the life of me. And I asked Wax to be in it, and he was cool enough to, do it and say a couple things. And I never posted the vlog. So I pulled up that footage the other day and was like, oh, I better post this, kind of reminiscing like, oh, this was the last time I opened for him 3 years ago. Excited to be opening for him again in a couple days. And there's even like a part where I'm here, I'll play it. I'll play it off my phone though, so it's not going to sound that good. But yeah, there's a part, this fucking camera that I love so much and that works perfectly every time I need it to. I was doing the vlog part with Wax, and I tell him I open, and I don't know that he saw my set, but he was cool enough to be like, "Oh, Domes killed it," or whatever, And as he says that, the camera fucking cuts out. So I turn the camera back on, and I'm like, "Oh shit, my camera cut out. You think you can show me love again on my?" And he's like, "Nah." He was joking, but like, I thought it was funny. He's like, "Nah." So here, I'll play it, and then I'll play the audio from my phone, and then I'll put it in the video so you guys can watch it. It's just a little clip. Hey, we got the boy Big Wax out here, Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm looking at
I got the fisheye. You can look wherever you want, dog. Nah.
What's going on?
Hell yeah, man. Just wanted to show
Domes.
love. Yes, sir.
We're here at the Las Vegas Country Saloon.
Yeah,
on Fremont,
LVCS.
Old Vegas.
Big Wax just killed it. Palmer
Thank
Squares just killed it. It was a dope show. Thanks to everyone that came out.
We had a fucking blast.
My movie stopped recording. Can you show me love again on my own? I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. So yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you have already seen that clip. But I thought it was a cool little thing to pull out of the archives, considering I'm opening for him again. And that was 3 years ago. And I never edited or posted that vlog. And don't know if I ever will at this time or at this point because it's been so fucking long. But yeah, shout out to Wax. He was, really cool when I chopped. I got to have a little conversation with him as well, a few years ago when I did open for him. And yeah, just, it's always nice to be able to talk to these artists that care about their supporters. I've said it in a previous episode. It's not like I get to meet all these people that I'm opening for, and also some people that I'm not familiar with. I'm not really trying to go out of my way to meet. But Wax, like I said, I'm a big fan of his, and so got to chop it up with him, a couple years ago, and I doubt he'll remember me this coming Wednesday, but I just still thought it was a cool little thing to pull out of the archives. So, yeah. Anyway, excited for the show. Especially because I'm kind of putting it in my head that it's going to be the last show that I do for a little bit. So that makes me more excited for it because, I got a show out for my last performance of the year. So, yes, if you're in Las Vegas, make sure to come through one more time. Opening for Wax, UBI from Cess Crew, and Lance Skywalker of TDE on the Las Vegas stop of the Push On Tour. October 23rd, Ninja Karaoke. I'm not doing karaoke. People, every time I'm promoting that, I feel like I'm doing karaoke. or it sounds like I'm doing karaoke. Hey, come see me at Ninja Karaoke, And I'm like, you just fucking singing other people's songs? No, I'm not. But speaking of singing other people's songs, nice transition into the freestyle that I just dropped this past week. I did another little freestyle verse over a another song, another already popular song, but decided to put my own spin on it, much like I did the Drake and Rick Ross Money in the Grave freestyle. I did that, I think, last month. And this past week, I just dropped the verse to the Ed Sheeran, Eminem, and 50 Cent song called Remember the Name. And I like that song. I hear it quite often on Shade 45 when I'm driving and all that. So I think I talked about it in the last episode of like, oh, I wrote this verse pretty quick. I sat down to do it. And yeah, so I recorded that, did the little video for it all in one take, and put it out. So that's up now. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. For the people that have seen it, I appreciate the love that you guys have been showing on it. It is, I don't know, I was happy with it. And I even kind of do their hook. I kind of sing their hook at the end, which I'm not really like too fond of doing, I guess. But my verse was kind of short. It's 16 bars, which is the average length of a verse, I guess. But it was only like 45 seconds with just the verse. So I was like, oh, I better do their chorus as well. And I was actually kind of happy with how I did it, if that makes sense. I, only changed the words a little bit for the chorus, but to make it more relevant to me. But I was happy with the way it sounded. So yeah, make sure to go check that out. Remember the Name Freestyle. I definitely want to do more stuff like that, trying to figure out what beat to do next. So if you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Something more current, preferably. I guess I could go back and do some older stuff, but something more current is what I'm looking to do, I guess. You got to strike while the iron's hot and while the song's popular, and I've kind of not done that for the last two. Been a little late on them, but, it is what it is. And for the people that are like, why aren't you just making your own songs? Why are you rapping on these other people's songs? Like my mom thought it was my song, and I was like, no, it's not my song. It's a fucking Ed Sheeran song. But the reason is, well, there's a few reasons. One is that doing that whole thing is pretty fucking popular on the internet right now for all these upcoming rappers. They, grab a beat that's already popular and put their own spin on it, rap a verse on it or whatever, and people watch that shit. People like it. Mainly because there's familiarity. I don't know how to say that word properly. They're familiar with the song that they're rapping on, so they're like, oh, this guy did a freestyle over such and such song that I like. Let me listen to it, as opposed to I've never heard this guy in my life, don't know his music, and this is just a song he made. Probably not going to listen to it. So for people that don't know who I am, maybe it's a way to kind of grab some attention there. And for the people that do know who I am, but also still like that song that I rapped on, it's kind of like, oh, cool, he put his own fucking twist on it. And then my main reason is that I can just grab these beats and fucking take the concept to the song that they already have, put my own twist on it, put my own verse to it. I don't have to like overthink. I don't have to come up with the concept myself. I don't have to overthink the recording and the mixing. It doesn't have to be the best mix, as opposed to when I'm working on my own music. I'm like, oh, this mix isn't right. The fucking this, and this, I need to record it better. I need to do this better. And, I'm tweaking out over every little thing when it comes to my own music. So it's nice to be able to just like not overthink things and take somebody else's song and put my own little twist on it. I don't got to worry too much about it. I don't have to fucking, it doesn't have to be the best mix. It doesn't have to be whatever, because it's not my song. And I'm not like, I'm not too worried about. It's not like an official release. So like when I'm working on my singles or anything for the album or whatever, I'm like super critical about that, about, you know, making sure everything's right. And this gives me a little opportunity to not really care that much and still, like, you know, rap, you know, well, do a good verse, and just a way to keep pushing content out for you guys. And so yeah, I did that. Dropped a verse over the Ed Sheeran, Eminem, and 50 Cent song. Remember the Name. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. And then directly after recording that, I was like, well, since I'm recording, I better record something of some significance. Because I keep talking about this damn EP that I've been working on, or wanting to work on, and needing to get finished. And there's parts that I need to re-record. So immediately after recording the little Ed Sheeran rap, I pulled up a song from the EP that needs some re-recording, and I did some re-recording. So that's positive, you know, that's productive. I didn't do it all. Like, I still need to tweak some parts, but I did add a part that needed to be added. So, yeah. So I did a little bit of re-recording for the EP, which, you know, makes me feel like I'm on the right track, makes me feel like I'm getting stuff done. And I got a little bit more re-recording to do. And then really it's all about getting the mixes right, and me tweaking out over that to make sure everything's fucking, you know, good enough. So, yeah, just, you know, trying to get this EP finished, and it will be coming out before the end of the year. That is for sure. I suppose speaking of that, I met up with Ryan this past week and was playing him the songs for the EP because he's probably heard them, but it's been a while since he's heard them, and he hasn't heard them like in order. You know, I got the track list all picked out, so I was playing him the rough mixes for the EP, and we were coming up with possible video ideas. I really want to do some videos for the EP. I actually, I kind of have an idea that I won't get too far into right now that I want to do for the EP. And so me and Ryan met up and just were listening to the songs and tossing around different ideas of, oh, this would be dope for this song. This would be dope if we did this. And I really want to do a cool little visual project for the EP. Now, I'm not promising that the visual aspect will be out before the end of the year. The music will be out before the end of the year. The videos might take some time because we were getting pretty in-depth with some creative ideas. And the last episode of the podcast, I was talking about that if I wasn't a rapper, I'd want to be a director or a writer, and I want to do, you know, film stuff. And just talking about that again kind of made me think, like, no, I still really want to do that shit. Like, so the last episode kind of got me back in my director bag. So I'm like, you know, we were listening to all these songs and coming up with different ideas and concepts for them for the videos. And I guess the hardest part will be figuring out how to actually execute these ideas. I always get held back when I'm coming up with an idea and I come up with all these fucking cool things, and then I'm like, yeah, but how are we going to pull that off? I have no budget. I'm filming on a camera that fucking cuts out every few minutes. That's not like the best quality. So there's a lot of that goes back to me being like overcritical with my own work, my own music, is that I want the videos to be fucking great. I want, you know, everything to be top notch. And so figuring out how to actually execute these ideas is going to be a task, but I'm also excited to kind of to try and figure that out, you know? Like fucking how do we I don't want to give too much away for the for the ideas, but you know, it's like yeah, just the technical aspect of I want the shot to look like this. How are we going to make it look like that? I want to be here. I want to be doing this. And now I'm just being super vague and it's not even fucking interesting. So how are we going to put me underwater? How do we film that? How are we going to, you know, how are we going to, anyway, I don't want to give too much away. But yes, I really want to come up with, or, you know, I really want to do some videos as well because videos are so fucking important, but I always get held back of, oh, the quality's not good enough. We don't have the equipment or the know-how to necessarily pull off some of these scenes. And I got to learn how to do it. We got to learn how to do it. We got to figure out, you know, exactly all the technical stuff. So anyway, he did come through and we were listening to the EP and coming up with video ideas and just shooting the shit. So that was awesome. That was a cool little brainstorming session. And yeah, I just, you know, speaking it into existence, speaking it in the last episode of, you know, I fucking really want to do videos and do short films or movies, or, you know, that would be the goal, I guess, would be to do a movie, but, you know, you got to start small. And a lot of people say the way to start, you know, for doing a movie or a short film is do music videos, because there's no dialogue in a music video. There's no, you don't have to record the audio. It's all just visual. And it might be a little difficult considering I'm going to be, you know, on screen for most of it because they are my songs, but we'll figure it out. If I need to reach out to somebody to get some damn help, I mean, I don't know who exactly I'd reach out to, but it's putting it into my head. Like, if I need to reach out to somebody to make this happen, like, let's do that, because I'm that excited to make it happen. If I need to study up on this, and this to make it happen, let's do that. If I need to fucking buy some props or some whatever to make this shit work, this equipment to make it do, let's fucking do that. You know, I really want to make shit happen. And coming up on fucking 2020 here. Fucking brand new decade, you feel me? It's been so yeah, it's just really want to step up what I'm doing here, I suppose. And I don't fucking know. Anyway, planning videos for the songs on the EP, and don't know when exactly they'll drop, but the EP will be out before the end of the year. Speaking of, you know, the visuals and wanting to direct and, you know, write, I think the last episode I said that I was a big Kevin Smith fan. Kevin Smith is Silent Bob from the Jay and Silent Bob movies, if you guys aren't familiar. And I went this past week, which was pretty fun. I went to a double screening of the new Jay and Silent Bob movie, and they played the old movie as well. That's the double screening part of it. I can't fucking talk this today, guys. I'm having a hard time fucking getting my thoughts out. Maybe because I'm a little tired still. Didn't really sleep that well. Was up late. All that bullshit. All the excuses I can possibly make. But yeah, I went to see the new Jay and Silent Bob movie. And it was like a double screening. So they played the first one and then the new one. And that was nice to just get out of the fucking house for a little bit and go watch a movie two movies, I suppose. One that I grew up watching, very classic, and one a new movie that I've been very excited for the last few months. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole experience of just, sitting and watching the first one, which I almost forgot how fucking classic the first one is because I haven't seen it in a while. And like I said, I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, so I've been very excited for the new movie as well. So I enjoyed that as well. And then they played like all the fucking outtakes and the bloopers and like extra content at the end. So it was just like a whole real experience of Jay and Silent Bob-ness for the night, and ate popcorn and all that kind of fucking shit. And yeah, so I did that this week. I'm just trying to think of other shit that I've been doing this week, and been trying to be productive, but I've been waiting for that movie to come to theaters, and it was only in theaters for 2 days. They did it on October 15th, where they just played the new movie, and then October 17th, they did the double feature, and the first, I missed it on the 15th, so I was like, man, I better go on the 17th, because if I don't go, I don't know when this shit is coming back to theaters in Vegas. So went to see it and enjoyed it. So that's that. I'm not really going to give a movie review on the podcast or, spoilers or anything, but I enjoyed it. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. I pretty much enjoy anything that he does. And some people don't. So, is what it is. Is what it is. So yeah, I did that this week. And that made me really be like, man, I really want to do this movie shit. I really want to, write and direct something. I really want to get back into that, kind of creative space, because that was kind of the thing that set me in that space in the first place, is I got real into Kevin Smith and his whole story and how he made Clerks like 25 years ago or something like that. It was very, grassroots, do-it-yourself, and that's super inspiring to me that he made something happen that fucking became this like cult classic and gave him a career. And so yeah, I got really into the idea of like, man, I want to write a movie after like kind of delving into his story more. And I used to watch these movies when I was growing up, but it wasn't until like maybe 3 years ago or something, when me and KON were doing the podcast, where I just got really into him and his story and his movies and the universe building, which he says he kind of stole from like the Marvel movies and shit, or I guess not the movies, the comics, because this is before Marvel movies happened. But how all his movies have like something that tie the other movies into each other. It's all part of the same universe, and I really think that's fucking creative, and I really want to implement that into something that I'm working on. So, yeah. I feel like I'm just rambling this episode, and I'm having a tough time getting out any fucking decent points. But maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe I'm just burnt out from last night because was out late, and I'm not going to make any more fucking excuses. I'm just having a rough go of it this episode. And that's how podcasts work, Some episodes are fucking gold. Some episodes are lackluster. And it is what it is. You get what you get. Off the Dome with Domes Gage. Best podcast ever. domesgage.com/shop for the merch. I didn't even say that last episode. I think it was the last episode was going so well, I didn't even have time to fucking fumble and say domesgage.com/shop for the merch. So, Coffee's getting cold, although it's hot in here. So, yeah, I think we'll just do fucking questions and get the hell out of here because I need to edit it. We're already 40 minutes in, so yeah, that sounds good. Let's get to questions and end this fucking episode. Wondering if there's anything else that I did this week that's worth talking about. But I think I pretty much got to it, you know. Recorded and released the Ed Sheeran rap all in one day. Went to the Palmer Squares show, met up with Ryan, played him the rough mixes for the EP. We brainstormed some video ideas, and I went to go see the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. That's pretty much been my week. So some productivity, some just fucking slacking and doing nothing. It's a nice balance. It's a nice balance. So, yeah. I did not think of the answers for these questions. I did look at them, but I kind of think of like some sort of direction I could take the answer. This time I did not, so we'll see what happens. Hot Dog Kisser is back. He didn't leave any questions last episode, and then I gave him shit for it. So he's back, Hot Dog Kisser. And yeah, we'll get to these questions and round this episode out. Out? Off? I don't fucking know. Can't talk today, guys. My brain is it's just not working. It's not working. Okay. Hot Dog Kisser asks, if you had to rebrand your name, what would your next rap name be? That's a very, very interesting question because I've thought about this before. Like, if I were to change my rap name, what would I change it to? And beyond that, I've thought of the fact of, well, let me answer the question, I guess, first. I don't really know. I don't really have like another rap name I would necessarily go to. I would probably just use my real name. A lot of people these days, they just, Kendrick Lamar, they're just using their real names as their rap names. It's either that or Lil something nowadays. So, yeah, I've thought of that. Like, man, maybe if I just went with my real name, which I'm not going to tell you guys because I've, came this far without saying what my real name is. And I'm sure it'll come out one day. And it's not even like it's anything crazy or bad, but I've never told it to the public. So I'm not going to start now, I suppose. But yeah, I think if I had to rebrand, I would change it to probably my first and middle name. But I mean, shit, even Dome's Gauge was kind of a rebrand because before I used to be like Kid Domes or whatever and just Domes when I was doing the rap battle stuff. And I kind of wanted to get away from that a little bit. I didn't want every time that you I wanted there to be a little bit of a difference between the battle rap Domes and the music Domes. So that's why I threw, the Dome's Gauge in there. It was kind of showing a little bit of maturity. And so that was kind of a rebrand, although it's still Domes. So it's not like that much of a rebrand. But what I was saying a second ago is that I've thought about, like, oh, what if I feel like my name, Domes or whatever, that there's a lot of people, especially like the old battle rap fans, that are familiar with the name and they have this preconceived notion of what I should sound like because they've heard me do battle rap stuff back in the day. And if I do anything else, it's, oh, but this isn't fucking this is not your battle rap stuff. It's not your boom bap stuff. It's like they have this stigma of what I should sound like, what my music, what I should rap like, what my music should be, I guess. And if I do anything else, I get this kind of not necessarily a negative response, but it's like, oh, we don't like that as much as this. And not everybody. Of course, I have, fans that are riding with me now and like the music I make, and that fucking means the world to me. But there's definitely a lot of people that found out about me through the old battle rap stuff that if they hear me singing on a song, they're going to be like, what the fuck is this? And so I always thought that, like, maybe my name's holding me back in certain points where there's too many people that are too familiar with it, that if I had a different name and I was putting music out under a different name, would they still have that same, I mean, it's still me, but they're not like, oh, that's Domes the battle rapper. So if I was making, a different kind of music, would they be more open to it? And so I've thought about that before. I've thought about creating a whole alter ego and not showing my face and having a different name. And very much like Sia, if anyone's like, well, she didn't really change her name. She was popular before and then decided to come up with this whole character where she wears like the wig that covers her face. She doesn't really show her face. And kind of this incognito, like you have to listen to the music. You can't really judge off looks or whatever. And there's certain people that do that, where they have something going for them, then completely rebrand, make this different character. The dude Oliver Tree, who like is kind of more current, he's fucking hilarious, by the way. But he wears this like fake bowl cut. He wears this fucking outfit. Like, he's a character. He made this whole character up, and he's succeeding with it. And he used to do music under just the name Tree, and he was just him and kind of a different sound, and then came up with this different alter ego, this different character, switched his appearance, and that shit worked for him. So I think of that shit all the time, is like, is my name, is my, the stuff that I've already put out there hurting me from doing anything in the future, because everyone has this, idea of what I should sound like. So, and I've thought about talking about this topic a couple times now, about like, that, but my fucking brain is just fucking not working today, and I can't remember what the hell else I wanted to add onto that. But yeah, so I've thought about what if I did a project that it's not Domes Gauge, it's something completely different. Would people listen? They wouldn't have like, oh, that's Domes the battle rapper, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. So yeah, sometimes I think, is my name hurting me? Because I thought it was helping, because it's like people can be like, hey, that's Domes the battle rapper, but now he's making music and I'm down because I used to like that, so I'm going to listen to the music. But that's not really how it works. It's more like, hey, I used to like him, let me listen. Oh yeah, no, that's not what I used to like. So, it's kind of a double-edged sword, I guess. It is like, they recognize the name, so maybe they're going to click on it, but also they have this fucking idea of what I should sound like. And when it doesn't sound like that, they click off of it. So maybe if I was putting it out under a completely different name, they wouldn't know it was me. Or if I made a fake alter ego and wore a fake bowl cut like Oliver Tree, or fake wig like Sia, or trying to think who else, like, there's a couple people, but I just can't think of them off the top, that just completely rebranded, didn't show their faces and just let the music speak for itself. And I'm too deep to do that now. I have, I guess I'm not really, but I do have, fans that like the Domes Gauge stuff that I'm doing. So who knows? If you guys see me start promoting a project that doesn't have my name on it, don't be surprised. Me and Ryan talk about it all the time, actually. Like, oh, we should do a project together, you know, where he makes the beats and I do all the vocals or whatever, and we don't say it's me. We have a different name, like a group name or something like that, and we can still promote it through my shit, but not really say it's me. And I mean, I'm sure you guys would recognize my voice, but for the people that aren't very familiar with me, it would just be like this whole new artist. And yeah, anyway, long-winded answer to Hot Dog Kisser's question. I don't really know what I would change it to, but I think if I was to rebrand, I would go just real name. And Obi Trice, real name, no gimmicks. Sound like an old Eminem song. But yeah, anyway, I would probably just go with my real name. Or because rap names are fucking stupid, dude. Even like fucking Domes, I'm like, god damn, like that shit just came upon me. That was like a nickname that I got, you know, through writing graffiti. And fuck it, I'm gonna tell the story of how I got my name, because I don't think I've ever told that story. So at least I don't think I've ever told the story on the podcast or publicly. I used to, you know, I grew up writing graffiti and being a little delinquent child. And, you know, you come up with graffiti names. You need a tag name that you can write. And I came up with the name Random, Random. And usually people like have cool like abbreviated names and all that shit. I was young. I didn't know nothing about that. So I was just writing the name Random. And that's 6 letters. So that's very long to be like fucking tagging in places that you're not supposed to be tagging on. And you're sitting there doing 6 letters or whatever. So one of my older homies who was kind of like a little bit of a mentor to me in the graffiti world was like, dude, that's too long. Like you can't be sitting there doing 6 letters every time you, you know, go paint or whatever. And I was like, well, what should I change it to? And he's like, I don't know, cut it in half and put an S at the end. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Or I'm like, what is that? And he's like, Domes? Like question mark? I was like, I guess, dude, whatever. If that's what you say, I should fucking write. So that quickly became like my graffiti name. I was like, all right, I'm going to cut out the first half, add an S at the end, and now we have Domes. And I started to write it and all that, but it became my nickname so much to the point where I couldn't write it. I couldn't keep tagging on the streets my name that people were calling me. Like I'd be walking down the street, hey Domes, what up? And there's like a fucking tag with my name on it on the fucking light pole or whatever. So I was like, yeah, I can't keep so I changed my graffiti name eventually after that, because I was like, this is my nickname. Everybody's calling me Domes. I can't be writing this on the streets or whatever. But that's how I got the name. It's just a completely random name, has really no meaning, and homie said, cut the word in half and put an S at the end. And that fucking stuck for some reason. I was probably 12 years old, or maybe it's like 11 or 12. And that just stuck. Yeah. But rap names are fucking stupid, dude. Like everybody fucking hates their rap name. And so that's why I think I would go just real name, no gimmicks. You know. So I don't plan to rebrand at the time being, because I've been trying to push the damn fucking Domes Gauge moniker for this whole last decade. So I'm like, might as well keep it going now, because there is some people familiar with the name. And take it or leave it, man. If you saw the old battle rap stuff and you are familiar with me, then you hear the music, you're like, no, I don't like it as much as the battle rap. Cool, man. That's fine, because there's people that are going to love the music. So that's who I do it for. I do it for myself, and I do it for the people that love what I'm doing. So, yeah. Thank you guys for listening to the stuff I'm doing now. Even when people find me and they're like on Instagram or whatever, I had somebody say, hey, just found you, used to love all your rap battle stuff. And I'm like, well, that's awesome. You know, it's been quite a long time since then, came a long way. Hope you listen to the music as well. Because I appreciate the people that like the battle shit, but I'm not doing it anymore. So it's like, it doesn't really hold that much weight in my life to where if someone's like, oh, you were so sick in those battles, it's like, well, thanks, but like I hope you like what I'm doing now, you know? And, you know, shout out to the people that do. Shout out to the people that do. All right, let's get to another fucking question before I just ramble about nonsense for another 20 minutes. I can't. Hot Dog Kisser, question number 2. Have you ever been catfished? Not really, dude. I don't really do much online dating or, you know, talking to people that I've never met. You know, and then meeting with them. Yeah, not really. It's like maybe like once where, but it was, yeah, nah, this is not even a good story to tell, honestly. just no, haven't been catfished. But I haven't really like I said, talked to many people and then went to meet up with them and they didn't look like what they did in their pictures. I don't do the Tinder. I don't do the online dating apps. I don't do none of that shit. It's not for me, you know? So, no. So, yeah. I think I had another question in here. I don't know if Rhea, I don't know if you meant for me to answer this on the podcast or if I probably should have just answered it on in your comment. She asked if is Young Man Running Wild finished? And a lot of people don't know what the fuck that is. This was a song that I was performing a couple years ago. I made it kind of strictly like, oh, I need to make some hype shit to perform at the shows. So much like Legendary. And this was another one that I made, and I was performing at a lot of the shows that I was doing. There might be a couple previews of it in one of the Life of Me episodes. But no, unfortunately, the song is never it was never finished. I kind of put it on hold, put it on the back burner as like I made it to do those shows, and then I never really had like a solid recorded version of it. I was also 3 years younger, you know. Now I'm don't feel so much like a young man running wild, but I guess the concept of the song would still work these days. But yeah, I make a lot of music, and that one kind of got put on the shelf. But who knows? Maybe I'll go back to it in the future. I actually plan to go back to it in the future. I was originally working on that for maybe what was going to be album 2, and then the album 2 that I'm actually working on kind of took a different shape, took a different direction. So that song probably won't be on there, but who knows? Maybe I'll put it out as a single. I don't know. You request this song a lot. You like the song, so I'll send you the goddamn rough mix if you want. You know, hit me up on Instagram or something. I'll send you the rough mix and you can listen to it. So, but she also asked another question. If I could have any superpower, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? And that's a good question, man. If I could have a superpower, what would it be? I'm not very familiar with like the list of superpowers. Like flying or yeah, like what's a list of superpowers? We're about to Google that right now so I can pick from it. List of superpowers. What are examples of superpowers? Elemental control, telepathy, telekinesis, time travel, super speed, super strength, teleportation, X-ray vision. Probably wouldn't be doing that. That seems a little too creepy. Heat, laser vision, optic blast. What are we fucking the X-Men? I mean, I guess that's a superpower, right? Uh, this question is hard for me to answer. Shape-shifting. Immortality. Nah, that doesn't sound fun. Absorbing powers, but then other people have to have superpowers for me to absorb their powers on some fucking who's the dude from Mortal Kombat that does that? Shang Tsung? I don't fucking remember. Invisibility. That also seems kind of creepy. Force field. I'm looking at a list of the best superpowers. I don't know where they're picking these from. Probably cartoons and shit. Flight, teleportation, super strength, invulnerability. That's a superpower? I mean, I guess. Super speed. Okay, Flash. Time travel. I thought time travel maybe. I guess like teleportation. We're going to go with that one. Just because, you know, getting from point A to point B. I'm late to a lot of shows. I could just fucking snap my fingers and teleport there and be early. Actually do sound check for once. So, yeah, we'll go teleportation just for the sake of me trying to answer this question. And then if I need to get to other places, other cities, other states, countries, all that fucking shit, I could just teleport. Yeah, we'll go with that for the sake of me wanting to answer the question and not knowing how. So yeah, that's where we're gonna leave it. It's where we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna end the episode right here. Thank you guys for listening once again. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're getting close to 7,000. Wait, 7,000? Yeah, I think it's 7,000. I better look now. I've been saying it in the last fucking 5 episodes, and I can't fucking remember because my brain is just fucking on stupid right now. Oh, I don't want this to play music. It's going to be... Yes, we're getting very close to 7,000 subscribers. Matter of fact, we're 20 subscribers away. So that's all. I need 20 subscribers to get to 7,000. And that'll be a little milestone, I suppose. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Rate and review on Apple if you're listening to it. I don't know what you do on Spotify if you listen to it, but just listen to it, I suppose. I appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode. One more time, if you're in Las Vegas, make sure to come out this Wednesday to Ninja Karaoke. Catch me opening for Wax, UBI from Cess Crew, and Lance Skywalker of TDE. It's going to be a good one. Very excited for the show. And like I said, it'll be the last time that you guys get to see me perform for a little bit, or the last chance you guys will get to see me perform. At least probably for this year. So if you're in Vegas, make sure to come out, and we'll be back for another episode next week. That's how we do. Buck, what do you got to say, man? Come on, give me something. I feel like he wants to say something, but I think maybe his brain's not working today either. I don't know. Maybe I'm just putting words in his mouth. I don't know. Anyway, guys, we'll be back next week for another episode. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.